you received a lot of backlash after the loss. In particular, you went back and forth. You were critical of Errol Spence Jr. prior to your fight. Errol Spence Jr. then was prompted to clap back on you, not only after the fight, but during the fight, where he said that Red from the Five Heartbeats was getting his ass beat by Rocha. With Maurice Hooker being a friend of Errol Spence Jr., are you looking to kind of send a statement through Maurice Hooker to Errol Spence Jr. with them being friends?
I don't care, man. Everybody's like, once Blair Flair's on top, it's over. It's over. So like right now, I ain't got much to say. So right now, I'm just focused. I'm focused on one thing, and that's pursuing my purpose and getting to my destiny and winning. As far as the whole clap back and the talking smack, I can't wait until this fight is over, because y'all can't handle what the fuck I'm about to bring. And that's just all I'm going to say. But as far as why Hooker, ask Golden Boy that. Like, you know, like, who's working for who? Like, I don't know. You know, who's on Blair Flair's team? Absolutely nobody. So what we're doing is defeating the odds, beating the odds, and coming up with extremely inspirational victories. That's what Blair Flair does. Blair Flair says he's the number one most exciting man in boxing, and that's what I do. I put on big shows. After this fight, Vergil Ortiz. Why not? Why? Because I'm already fighting top 10 contenders already. And after Vergil Ortiz, why not? Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Who wins that fight? I don't care, but I'll beat whoever they put in front of me. And that's just what it is, you know.
So you just effectively absent the last two names that you just called out, you just effectively called out Vergil Ortiz Jr. Is that the route that you really want to go after this fight if that presents itself?
Absolutely. And I just don't care. Like Blair Flair just don't care. You know, I'm just tired of people talking like they tough, acting like they tough, promoters promoting like they tough, but then they're not really tough. It's just that type of stuff that's happening. Everybody's trying to be undefeated for like forever, you know, like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so has Blair Cobbs turned into a bit of a heel? Is Blair Cobbs now going to be a villain at 147?
Man, I've been a villain. Like, so, like, why not? Everybody's trying to be undefeated. Like, nobody's taking any real risk, you know? It would bid the question, how much time did Maurice Hooker really have for that Vergil Ortiz fight? I would wonder. Because everything seems to be a game. You know, why Mckinson? Why Mckinson? Why Mckinson now when, like, you could be fighting Alexis Rocha?
Last time out, March 19 of this year, 2022, fell short for the first time versus Alexis Rocha. How have things been since the fight? Was there any injuries sustained or anything? How have things been physically for you?
Pretty good. Just the whole thing is, right, that fight is more so of a circumstantial loss. And was it really a loss? Let's just start thinking about this. Was it really a loss? I mean, I'm fighting a top 10 fighter right now.
Definitely.
Which I ranked than the last fighter I just fought.
I was going to touch on that. I was going to touch on that. If you want me to get on it now, I can get on it now. Mo Hooker, Blair, Maurice Hooker. I think a lot of casual boxing fans that have been watching boxing just the last maybe year and a half to 2 years have a different thought of Mighty Mo Hooker from Dallas, Texas. Maurice Hooker is an extremely solid fighter. And in my estimation, humbly, Blair, I would ask you, you realize you stepping up again, right? This is a step up fight. This isn't a step down. This is a step up. Mo Hooker, 27-2, 18 knockouts. On paper, this is the best guy you've ever fought.
Every single time there's been the best fighter ever fought. Blair Flair started making his name by fighting undefeated fighters with a 16-1 underdog. And that's just what it is. Blair Flair is not taking easy fights. There is no tune-up fights. That's why, like, it's imperative that I have a camp that can actually groom me and develop me to do so, because every fight is going to be a big fight. We're going straight to the top. There is no, like, oh, we're going to kind of play with you a little bit and this and that. No, it's like, what was Alexis Rocha's last fight? I don't even know the guy. He came in like 2-day notice.
Right.
And before they were trying to get another dude that only had like 2-week notice. Like my fighter, Maurice Hooker, he's known about fighting me and already signed a contract over 2 months ago.
Right.
You know, not winning fights with circumstantial bullshit. Like my last fight with Alexis Rocha.
Right. What was the circumstance? You're alluding to that. What was the circumstance, if you don't mind sharing with us, Blair?
I had weeks of training to prepare, and I only signed the guy. I was only able to sign the contract, and I only actually had an actual contract available within 1 week. And then even that was void because of the whole nonsense with Vergil Ortiz not making weight and going through God knows what. You know, because we can sit here and say, check him. You know, like what was that problem that he had? Check him. We could say that, you know, but that's neither here nor there. But beyond all of that nonsense happened. So like I wasn't even sure if I was fighting until the day of the fight. You know, and it's a big difference when you're dealing with somebody that's already been kind of waited out, starved out. The last time I fought was nearly a whole year versus somebody that's just fought recently and is not starved out, ready, and been focused and prepared for Blair Flair for almost a year.
Now, aside from the outside of the ring things, we do have to talk about and deal with the things inside of the ring, Blair. When you're inside of the ring versus Rocha, what in your estimation went wrong inside of the ring?
Just the fact that everything outside was wrong. You know, it's just preparation. And inside the ring, we had there was a couple of things, couple technical difficulties that could have been fixed, but I didn't have that kind of knowledge coming in through the training. Like, yeah, I could have, looking at the fight, I could have brought my right hand up a lot better, a lot more. I could have stopped those left hands, because really, what was he after that? What would he be after he not being able to land a left hand? You know,
he landed it quite a few times in the fight. He did
quite a bit, and I was easily able to stop guys in sparring with the right hand being up, but I wasn't getting that focus and that clarity that I needed in the training and in the corner. It's just having the right circumstances to put on the best show possible for Blair Flair, and that's just what it is. You know, so I have a new team. I have a new team that's focused on only one thing, Blair Flair, that's focused on grooming Blair Flair to the absolute best potential.
So you felt maybe like there were other focuses inside of the previous regime that just were not, their attention was scattered. Is that what you're saying, Blair? Just to clean that up.
Yeah, let's just put it like this. Like, I'm coming from Wildcard. They have a lot of fighters. They have a lot of trainers and things, a whole lot of entities that just doesn't work out for grooming. Like, they're great at getting me to a certain point, but when it comes to the elite world championship level, I need a team that's focused just on me, you know, and that's just what it boiled down to. still love her.
Fair enough. If
I
that's
have
what
nothing.
you feel like you need. I want to revisit Maurice Hooker again. In my notes, just looking at Maurice Hooker, I mean, this is a guy who your styles seem to match up, and this is a dangerous fight for you again, Blair. This is a tall guy with long arms. He's got a good chin. And he punches hard. 18 KOs in his own right. Why him? Why now? Are you concerned about Mo Hooker's power?
I don't know, man. Not really. I'm not really concerned about Maurice Hooker's power, but honestly, I just try to be as safe as possible in that ring.
You just recently you got a new team. So is it okay to say that you split with Freddie Roach's team?
Blair Flair is not burning bridges behind me and all that other extra stuff. I'm totally still cool with Freddie Roach, and cordial with Freddie Roach and Wildcard. So it's not like, oh, we got a break or nothing like that. I just have to move on to another team that can give me the solid attention that's necessary to groom a world champion. That's just what it is. Once I get to the certain level, the very small things can be big things. We're battling inches, not feet now. Okay, everything matters. So that's why I got a big team. That's a new team.
New team
on
Hit
me.
Hit Sports out in Camarillo. You're training with Roger Romo, Cecilio, and you got is his name Coach Adam down there too, right? That's your new team. Tell me about that, man. What have they added to Blair Flair Cobb?
The right support that's needed, the right attention that's needed, and the attention to detail that's needed. We got focus, and we look forward to putting on big shows every single time out. It's about developing. Now I have a team that's able to develop with me, and that's a big blessing. So regardless of what happens, we in this next fight, every single fight out is going to get better and better and better, and Blair Flair is going to be more and more refined, and you guys can look forward to seeing Blair Flair at the absolute best.
What type of wrinkles have they added into your game? Have you added anything new? Has Coach Romo been able to add anything new to you?
More strategy, more focus on defense, and just the right kind of attention to detail. You know, look, but my head is up. How about we start putting my head down a little bit better and tucking my chin a little bit better? Okay, my hand was down. How about we bring my hands up a little bit better? How about we focus on agility a little bit more? How about we focus on head movement a little bit more? Things like that. There's a lot of little adjustments that we make to make sure that we eke out the best and absolute best of Blair to Flair. So that's just what it is.
Blair, we always appreciate your time, man. Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV, here with the one and only Blair to Flair Cobb. If you don't know, Blair Cobb, Maurice Hooker, this Saturday, August the 6th. Blair, what can we expect from you on fight night?
Just excitement, a great show. And remember, people, Blair to Flair is not taking the easy fight. So if I dismantle this fighter easily, just know that it was all about the preparation and a whole lot of prayers. That's just what it's all about.
Have you gotten rid of the woo?
No, but I'm not wooing anymore until this fight is over. And I'm just focused on this fight, and that's just what it is. You know, they don't even pay me enough money to like be over here promoting right now. I'm just focused on this fight.
Excellent, Blair, man. Well, good luck to both fighters, man. Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV, Blair to Flair Cobbs. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, brother.